Season 3 of Silo is one of the most interesting things that I've seen all year. I have been a big fan of this show. I started watching right away from season 1, and I love season 1. I think it is a miraculous season of TV, especially for science fiction, but even as a drama, it's so interesting. It is this mystery that unfolds and you kind of pick away at the pieces. And at the end of season 1, there were so many questions, and I'm not going to lie to you, season 3 ends with still a ton of questions, but wait until you see where this season goes. I cannot talk about it yet. Obviously, it's under embargo. I've seen the whole season, season 3, and I'm going to do a spoiler review at the end once everything is out, and then I can talk about it. But until then, I'm just going to say I love season 3. I think season 2 was a bit of a low point for the series. Obviously, there's only 3 seasons so far, but I think it dipped a bit there because they just did not have quite enough story going on. It felt like we got a little shortchanged, but we got these amazing characters. And in the end, Silo is really just the most miraculous story of characters and relationships and what that all means to the larger story. And not a lot of shows can pull that off. I think it's a really tough thing. I think about shows, older shows certainly, Lost, things like Succession, so many shows that depended on those relationships. Silo is very much a relationship show, and I love what that means. Season 3 really has an interesting approach to that. I think there was part of the story that does kind of limit things for a while. And I really am looking forward to when we can talk more about that, because once things open up again in this season, it flies. The last few episodes of season 3 are amazing because really everything is operating at a fast pace. You're getting deeper into these mysteries. You're getting these amazing relationship payoffs between characters who have either rubbed each other the wrong way all season and are finally getting along, or the other way around. It is amazing to see what they've worked out in this show as far as telling those stories, how they come together, how they separate. I mean, it's edge of your seat stuff to me because I love that kind of tense drama. And every time I sat down to watch a new episode, I could not wait till the next episode. I gotta say, you're gonna be sitting there and week to week, you're not gonna be able to wait until the next episode. It is so good. And that comes back to the storytelling, which I think is doing really well this season, especially the second half of the season, but also in the fact that it is such an incredible cast. So obviously, Rebecca Ferguson as Juliette Nichols, the heart and soul of this show. I do wish that the first few episodes had given her more to work with. I think it's a little limiting, but wow. I love Rebecca Ferguson, and the journey this season for her is fascinating. It really has a great payoff, but wait until you see what's going on with some of the other characters. Common as Robert Sims, I gotta say, he's been one of those characters that I've almost hated to see in the show because he's so good at being basically the villain, the guy that you dread. But this season is a huge payoff for him. I was blown away by what we get from Common this season. He has a great arc. It is a great story, and he is still quite the good villain. But wait and see where it goes. On the flip side, you got Alexandria Riley as Camille Sims. I have disliked her for a while because obviously she's a bit of that hard character to pin down, both a deeply strong family person, but at the same time pushing and pulling to get her way. And this season is really fascinating to see where she goes. Her relationship with everyone around her, but especially Robert, it's fascinating. And you know, another couple of characters who are key here. Just amazing storytelling here and acting. I loved every minute with her. Then we got to talk about Ashley Zukerman as Daniel Keene. Ashley, I gotta admit, at the end of season 2, the surprise of seeing the past with him, the whole storytelling there, it was really interesting. I didn't really understand what this was going to mean to the show, but Daniel is such a great part of this story, and you will not believe his arc. I cannot wait to talk about it at the end of this season, because it is a wild story, especially for those of us who haven't read the book. It's amazing to see where this arc goes. And of course, tied very tightly to him is Jessica Henwick as Helen Drew, the journalist. She digs into this story, and they kind of get tied up together in this story. And I really can't say too much more about them. I mean, I really feel like by the end of episode 1, there's not a lot we can talk about here. But I am going to say this. This is a spoiler. I'm going to say right now, stop watching here if you haven't seen episode 2. Season 3, episode 2 introduces this whole point, and it is a key to this season of Silo. It's a key to the series. Memory. Memory is fascinating. You're going to see so much played out here. But essentially, you know, there's this moment where we realize that the silos, the people in the silos, can have their memories basically erased. And all it takes is, you know, one decision that, oh, things are too bad, we have to stop this right here. And I mean, this is the question for the whole show, is why? Why does this exist? What does this mean? Why are the people controlled in this way? I'm going to be honest with you. You get a bit of the answer by the end of season 3, but not really. There is going to be a lot in season 4 that finally answers a lot of questions. I feel like we're getting into that lost territory where, you know, the deeper you go, you finally start getting answers, and then there's more questions. There are so many answers in season 3, but there's a lot of questions left that are really, it's going to be pivotal to see what happens in season 4. I'm hoping they can wrap this up in a way that works, because I love this series, but those questions, I cannot wait for an answer. Of course, I'm also going to talk about Jessica Brown Findlay as Charlotte Keene. A little character here. I think we get more from her later in this season, but wait and see her arc. It's great. Laura Innes as Sandra Thurman. The whole role of this character is going to be deeply discussed by the end of this. Enough said. And there are, of course, so many actors in this that play such a vital role. I can't get into all of them in this review, but I'm just going to say that it is a wonderful season. Come back at the end for my deep dive as we talk about what everything means. I don't want to ruin anything. I can't ruin anything, but stick with it. You're going to be addicted by episode 3 easily if you aren't addicted already. And thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you want to chat about Silo in the comments. I'd love to have a spoiler-free conversation. Thank you very much for watching.